Tops just went premium with the Camp Creek knife. That's right, folks. We are looking at Tops Knives' first S35vn made knife. Now, you guys know, if you've been following the channel for any extended period of time, I love a lot of Tops knives. I love the fit and finish, the designs, the different capabilities that they have, but they usually make most of their knives with 1095 steel, and in past years with subpar nylon sheaths. Well, Tops is totally kicking it up. As I said, S35vn steel, one of my favorite high-performing premium steels. This is the first knife they've ever released with this type of steel, with this Camp Creek design. It's a little compact belt knife, great for around the campsite, great for, you know, just everyday carry if you're carrying a fixed blade and you like that compact size, or a great companion knife to go with either a large chopper, hatchet, or folding saw. The bonus is that they have an amazing Kydex sheath with this design, and a lot of their new designs are coming out with either really premium leather or really good Kydex. This is a fantastic factory Kydex sheath. Loop over into a taco design, great leather dangle attachments with pivot, button snap. I mean, this thing is premium in every way. So really looking forward to breaking it down for you today, showing you what it can do, its capabilities, and whether or not it's going to be a really good premium belt knife for you, or if there's other stuff on the market. We're gonna break it all down today and see if this is the right tool for you with the Tops Camp Creek knife. So let's go ahead and get to it. Nice and cold today, about 25 degrees out, and we are gonna break down the blade portion here on the Camp Creek. Okay, so as I have stated earlier, CPM S35vn steel on this bad boy, and I'm super pumped about that because I love that type of steel. The reason for me is that it's rust resistant, it holds a really good edge, much better than your 1095s, much better than like 154cm, VG10, that type of thing. And for me, with the blades that I've used with my simple Work Sharp field sharpener, in fact, I'll have it in the Amazon links below, like 30 bucks, you know, got diamond stones and a ceramic rod. This thing and any other S35vn that I have used to date is easy if I get chips or burrs, you know, if I drop it or it, you know, hits while I'm hacking on something or batoning, you know, and it hits a piece of gravel or, you know, just a really bad knot or something. For me, with about 5 minutes of work, I can get a fine cutting edge back on this type of steel. So it's a super steel that for me has been proven to be very high performance and easy to resharpen out in the field. So that's why I personally gravitate towards this type of steel. It's got good lateral, you know, side to side stuff. And I love it in my survival knives as well as my smaller, more compact knives like this guy. Now the cutting edge is going to be 4 1/4 inches overall. From the handle to the tip is about 4.38 inches overall length, and you are looking at a blade width of 1 1/4 inches. So up here, it's a pretty wide little blade. That, you know, full flat grind there, really digging that. And then it has a thickness of 0.13, so just a hair, like less than a millimeter thicker than 1/8 of an inch thick, which is perfect. And it has definitely that kind of Nesmuk feel to the knife, which is very cool, which means for insane slicing capability. We were stunned. I stuck this in a log, started pull cutting. Whoa, we were like, holy crap, does that belly slice. So if you want slicing, food prep, and finer work, this blade shape and the amazing amount of belly is ridiculous. I mean, this thing is redonkulous by every stretch of the imagination. Love it, love it, love it. No recurve. It actually is straight when you look all the way back here, and then it hits belly, and it's all belly. It's a big old fat beer belly of a blade on this thing, but man, does it work. And with that nice thin blade, you know, you find knives sometimes, even from Tops, you know, that are about this size or even a little bit bigger, and you know, they're 3/16 of an inch or a 1/4 inch, and it's like, that is way overkill and reduces your slicing capability. This, the thinner the blade, the finer the slicer, and this thing is a machine. Now we do have a good precise tip without it being too fine. You know, full flat grinds, that would be one of the drawbacks, is an ultra fine tip, you know, that might snap and break. But I did some side to side lateral motion again and worked out great. And zero problems, zero complaints, held up well. Now, obviously the knife is too light to really do any delimbing bigger than like your pinky. You know, if you have a branch, you could delimb some smaller stuff if you need to with a little wrist flick. I did do some light batoning with it. Will absolutely hold up to anything like that. But again, you're gonna be able to baton something, you know, about the size of your wrist or smaller. So like 2 inches is about max of what you could just break down some kindling if you need to around the fire. Food prep, great. Slice some apples with ease. I mean, it reminded me of a kitchen knife with how good and fine the cutting can be with food. So that's awesome. Seen some tops do some game skinning and cleaning, and that looks amazing on how quick they were able to clean some games. So very impressed with like a hunting, you know, style of knife. That belly's going to be able to slice really, really well. And then of course just some general utility, cordage, you know, that type of stuff worked great. So with the blade itself, guys, phenomenal choice in steel. Really excited. Hopefully Tops is going to begin to use that more often. Fantastic blade shape, really digging it. It does have kind of like a tumble, almost like a grayed out finish on it. It's not a coating, it's just a finish. So the spine also is not quite 90 degrees, and it's not like rounded either. I can get it to sort of kind of throw sparks, kind of sort of scrape, but it's not great. It does not throw sparks at all. You really got to put a lot of pressure on it and really get like the perfect angle for it to even launch a spark at all. And it'll decently scrape, but I would have liked to see them just give us a full-on scraping, you know, style of spine on there to help throw sparks. I mean, we have a campfire logo on here. You know, to have a 90-degree spine on there would have been awesome. I mean, you could hit this for just a moment, you know, back here with a sander and then give you a good scraping spot right there. But yeah, would have liked to see that out of the factory. It does not have a good 90-degree spine out of the box. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit the handle here and discuss that, positives, negatives, and whether or not it will be something that you're loving and digging or might be an Achilles heel for you. So this is going to be G10 handle scales, so super excited about that. Really cool color combinations, tan and light tan and kind of like an olive in there. Really digging that a lot. And so that is going to be, they call it green camo. So that's going to be a handle length of 4.625, so great handle length, not too short. You guys know I wear large size gloves, plenty of room to spare off the back end, so that's exciting. So handle width at its widest point is going to be 1 inch back here and start tapering down all the way to the neck. And then the thickness is going to be 0.75 on the thickness of the handle. Really nice and contoured. And the knife is going to weigh 6.1 ounces. So great carry weight, a little bit more, about like 8.5 ounces total with the package of the sheath. So I mean, you're looking at a great ultra light, but great designed camp knife. And so as you saw a moment ago, in my large size hands, I wear large size gloves, and we'll talk about gloves in your hands also here in just a moment. That's how it fits. We have a nice guard right there. Real nice, no jimping, because again, not a tactical knife, camp knife. I like that. Doesn't need any jimping, doesn't need any of that sharp jimping that sometimes Tops does. So that's really nice that that's there. And the way the blade is shaped, I can put my finger right here and just guide the blade all day long. Feels great. It does have cut-ins with valleys in between that did not land anywhere awkwardly or cause any sort of hot spots. They split my finger very nicely in my hand. That back lanyard hole, really nice. I could back up a little bit, like I said, just do some very light little hacking if I needed to off of something. Not again at all like a chopper. Not squared off, nice and rounded, really contoured very, very nicely. I really like that a lot. I could do reverse lever grips, cut that way, felt comfortable. So I've got lots of control in the hand. I like, again, the G10 versus my Micarta. I love my Micarta too, don't get me wrong, but the G10 is just really nice. So this is going to be the point that you just need to focus on and think about. The neck of the knife is thin. That was my only concern grabbing the knife when I saw it, you know, arrive. I was like, okay, is this going to be too thin? Now, they did a great job by making the handle scales nice and wide. I really like that a lot at 0.75. That's a really good thickness, and they kind of almost made it overly thick to really fill out the hand well, because it is really, it's narrow. I'm not going to lie to you. It's narrow there. It's not narrow for my large size hands, and I gave it to my cameraman Brian, who wears extra large size gloves, and he said as long as you had his finger right here, he didn't even notice it. It was only when you started doing hammer grips like this that you actually have to focus your points down here on your pinky and your ring finger, because it's fuller back there, and if you put your pressure there, it feels very natural, is what he commented on, and I tend to agree with him. Not that, again, it feels unnatural here, but just for some size perspective, I have a couple other knives of similar size just so you can see that neck. So what I'm saying in contrast is that for me, I didn't have any issue with it. It was on the verge of being too thin, but I used it a ton, basically trying to see, is this neck too thin? And it was not for me. But for some size perspective here, I'm gonna run in my ultra loved Tops Hog 4.0 or 4.5, just to show you the neck difference. I mean, that's quite a bit wider on the neck than right here. And I'll run in a few others. The Tops Almar collaboration right down there, just to show you. Now that's thinner, so it's kind of a trade-off, but it is a little bit wider than it is right there on the neck. Then finally, just for perspective there, the SE4HM. So there we have it. Just wanted to give you guys, with knives of similar size to from Tops, just some size perspective of the distance from top to bottom on the neck. Again, because of how wide it is, it kind of compensates for the thinness of that, but that's something that you just need to consider. Now with my large size hands, it fit fine. I could see some people, even though Brian said he didn't really notice it too much with his extra large size gloves, if you start getting extra large and double X size gloves, that may become a sticking point for you. So it's just something to consider when you are looking at this knife. If you have small, medium, and I would say large size hands, you're not going to notice it at all. It's going to work great, and you're going to feel lots of very comfortable contouring. It's not clunky, it's not blocky, and on top of that, the bonus is that because of the way that they've designed the handle, kind of larger near the back, tapering towards the neck, when I wear my heavy duty leather fleece lined gloves, I mean, this is what I use when it's like today, 25 degrees out, we're camping, we're hiking, we're day, trekking and blade boot camping and all that. This works fantastic and really gives me a deep locking point right there with these leather gloves and larger, snow gloves or whatever, to really have good control over the knife, where sometimes larger necked knives and larger knives may kind of be a little cumbersome. You just don't have quite the control. So with heavy duty gloves on, you actually still get a really good level of control on the Camp Creek that you don't always get with certain other blades. And so that's going to lead us into the price, and these are great knives just to have here as comparison as we get into that whole discussion. And right out of the gate, this is going to blow your guys' mind. So you're seeing all the awesome Kydex sheath, right? I mean, sick sauce. You're looking at S35vn, USA made, G10 handles, awesome contouring, all the different things that you're looking at on this knife right here. So you're thinking like, well, what is this, like 200, 250? Because that's going rate for a lot of S35vn, USA made knives. I mean, that's pretty doable, particularly with the Kydex sheath, like what we're seeing with that leather accents. Wrong. On Blade HQ right now, links below, you can pick this guy up for $150. Mind-boggling for that price. I don't know. I do not know how Tops is doing it, guys. I don't know how they're hitting that price point with everything that you're seeing here. It is phenomenal. That is a great price for the materials and the design that you're getting in this Camp Creek. And just to give you some perspective, we have a 154 CM, and I'll annotate it in if that's, I don't think that's CPM 154. Anyway, I think it's 154 CM right there, which is definitely a good stainless steel, but it ain't S35vn. And it comes with a good Kydex sheath, not with all the leather accents and everything else that we see on this guy up here. And I think it's almost the same price. It's right around 140, 150 going rate on average. You look at the Tops Hog, great knife, love this knife. It's going to be about 130, but it's 1095, and it comes with a really cruddy nylon sheath. Now, if this was made in S35vn with a Kydex sheath like this one, come on, Tops, give me that. That would be sick. Man, anyway, so, I mean, to get a Kydex sheath, I did a custom. I mean, I've invested $200 in a 1095 blade over here that's not going to hold up and have quite the edge retention and rust resistance that this guy will, and then had to send it off for a custom sheath. Then we got the SE4HM, great knife, but you're looking at about $110 with the Kydex sheath, and then to get any sort of drop blade, because it's a really high ride, you got to get the nylon, that's an extra 20, so now we're at 130. Definitely nice contouring, all the different things, but again, 1095. It's a little bit thicker, and I paid $130 for that. So I mean, for $150 for everything we're getting on the Camp Creek, it's mind-blowing. So we will have links in the description below over to Blade HQ, Amazon as soon as it's available over there. We really appreciate it when you guys use those hyperlinks. Helps us continue to make the content that you see here. We just really appreciate your guys' support, filling us up week in, week out by clicking, sharing, liking, and using the hyperlinks. And we want to remind you about our new affiliate, backcountry.com. Great website with all kinds of outdoor apparel, backpacks, gear, awesome opportunities. They got great sales right now going on because it's the holidays. So go check those out. Links below over to backcountry.com, as well as Knock Around Sunglass Company. They got lots of sales going on as well, and we love those for the whole family, creating great sunglasses and helping, particularly now with all the snow, that I don't go snow blind with their polarized options. So we really appreciate all your guys' support. Now, Tops did send this blade over to me so that I can show you guys all the positives, all the things that you need to know so that you have the data points to know whether or not this particular blade is the right tool for you. That's what I always want to do in every video, so that you can go, that is exactly the tool I'm looking for. You can go, you know what, some of the things you said, that's not what I'm looking for. I thought I wanted the Camp Creek, but I want the Hog 4.5 now. Or the flip side, you're like, you know what, I was thinking about a different blade, but now that I'm seeing this, I must have this Camp Creek. That's what we always want to do here at the channel, is give you guys the data points so that when you throw down your hard-earned money, you are happy with the purchase, you have as much data points as possible, so you're confident that you're going to enjoy the gear that you get when you see a video here on Gideon's Tactical. Well, folks, to wrap it all up, I'm in love. I mean, this thing is an amazing belt knife, and you're going to see it a lot on my belt in upcoming videos when we're doing and testing out other gear. Might be testing out a hatchet from some other company, and you're going to see me. You're going to see this bouncing around because it makes a lot of sense. I love the steel, the ergonomics, the blade shape and profile. It makes sense. This knife makes sense, and it's just premium and for a good price. You're not having to pay through the nose for what you're getting, which is awesome. So Tops is nailing it, killing it with the Camp Creek. Can't wait to see what else they come up with these awesome new level of quality with their Kydex and leather, and with the new steels that it looks like they are starting to use in certain designs. So can't wait to see what they crank out next. Guys, thank you so much for coming over here today. I hope this video has shown you what the knife can do, what it can't do, and whether or not it's going to be the right choice for you. So we always want to do here on the channel. Don't forget about the mailbag. Put hashtag mailbag. You might get one of your questions answered in an upcoming video. Check out the Gideon's Tactical show every Saturday as well. It's kind of an interview, discussional based thing. We don't really review anything. It's a different type and style. If you're not a current subscriber, I invite you to become part of the GT family, throwing up videos every single week. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.